Hi there, my name is Vanessa, and I just want to talk to you guys about why I fight for the arts and why I hope you will also take up the fight. I'm going to look at this through two different perspectives. First, the power of pathos, before looking at some politics of recognition. First, I want to define a couple terms: ethos, pathos, and logos. So you've got your ethos, that's creating a persuasive argument through ethics, and then you've got your logos, creating persuasive argument utilizing logic-based proofs, so you're saying statistics, that kind of thing. And then there's pathos, which is igniting emotion in your audience that helps them undergo the transformation of ideology or a shift in opinion. So what I really want to talk about is how art directly fosters a type of argumentation that is being neglected overall. I think that once you leave the field of the arts, emotional appeal starts to slip away, and I don't think that there's a focus academically or curricularly on pathos. So I think that what's really influential is that the arts is teaching something that not necessarily any other type of department does. I mean, that's not saying it doesn't, it's just saying it's not, a major focus or a major stemming point. So, I mean, if you look at photography, if you look at music, if you look at acting, if no matter what you look at in regards to the arts, there is a direct connection with emotion. Slam poets, you guys use a lot of emotion to make a persuasive social argument. Am I right? I'm right. So I think that what's really influential is that we're constantly in the arts using this emotional appeal that's being neglected. And I think that what it comes down to is we live in a very logical society. And that's fine, that's good. I mean, we all like some logic, right? But it's about intertwining all three, logos, ethos, and pathos, to make a really hard hitting argument. And if we lose the arts, we're pretty much losing an entire third of that solid argument, right? So if you look at just how influential pathos is on an everyday level, if you think about, when you're talking to just a friend in the middle of a hallway and you're like, oh my gosh, I really don't like person T. And then friend says, why? I like person T. Then how are you going to persuade them that person T is not someone worth liking? Are you going to say, well, honestly, in the last 5 years, person T has lost 50% of their friendships? Or are you going to say, do you remember that time in class where person T said something really offensive and then that other individual stood up crying and stormed out of the room? You're most often going to use a narrative kind of persuasion technique in an everyday setting. So because of that, narrative is highly, highly, highly focused in emotion. So by having these programs, we're also fostering everyday communication from, the small in the middle of the hallway setting to larger, conference settings. It's an integral part of communication to have that full hard-hitting argument. We're like the arts is teaching how we feel, how we actively undergo emotion, as well as examining how another individual is feeling or how they process those emotions. That is what's integral. Next, looking at some image construction. One of my favorite theories that I read in my undergraduate career at Gustavus was The Politics of Recognition by Charles Taylor. And the entire idea behind that article is that we gain our identity through the recognition of others. So when we're losing programs, when we're, slashing budgets, we're also losing a lot of the potential for recognition that having these departments offers, and thus also losing a form of being able to construct millions of people's nationwide identities. So just like going off a personal example, when I was a baby child, first involved in the arts. I've been involved in speech for 9 years. So when I first started, I was very timid, in the corner hanging out, loving my life. And one of my friends suggested that I join the speech team with her. And then a day later, after we joined, she quit. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't get things, so I'm just going to continue. And I could never be more thankful for that individual because I gained who I am through this activity within the arts department. So, or well, within the genre of the arts, I want to say. So I think that by having the different communities, whether it's a team, whether it's a coach, or whether it's someone from Austin, Texas, who just happens to be in the same round as you are, you're gaining a variety of different perspectives that formulate who you are, as well as you having the opportunity to form who they are, which is an integral exchange that I think is really unique to a lot of activities within the arts. So I guess in conclusion, I just want to articulate that the arts provides a vital, vital component to our education. Without the arts, we are losing one of the main forms of communication, of persuasion. And also we're losing an outlet for millions of people to form who they are and view other people's perceptions on who they are, thus further constructing their identity. And it's been really great talking to you guys. I really hope you fight for the arts. The arts have given me my entire life, and so I will never stop giving up, the fight for funding, the fight for, being involved in such glorious activities that provide so much on an everyday level. So thanks for listening. You guys are great, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.